Broadcasting live from the digital state-of-the-art studios at Dean College. This is WGAF Franklin, Massachusetts. Power 88. Southeastern New England's hottest rock. All day long.
Good morning. You are listening to the Alex Feuz Show, bringing you all of the news, sports debates, interviews with people you all care about, and so much more. Every single weekday on Dean College Power 88 Radio, broadcasting live from 7 to 8 a.m. And now, here's your host, Alex Feuz.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It's the last day of September. Can you believe that October is tomorrow? Unbelievable. This month just flew by. But once again, you are listening to the Alex Feuz Show. I'm your host, Alex Feuz, and we have a packed studio with all the on-air talent and producers of the show here today in the studios at Dean College. And we have a big show planned out for you. We're going to kick things off in just about 1 minute with a debrief of the New England Patriots victory, 16-10 over the New York Bills yesterday. And we also have fake or real news. I have 3 headlines that I will be quizzing gigs today, whether or not it's real news or fake news. Also, we have the top 5 news headlines of the day. And then we also have an MLB wildcard outlook. The games kick off tomorrow night. And then also, we have our top 5 NFL moments from NFL Sunday Football. And then we have this day in history and word of the day. So again, big show planned out for everyone here today. It's good to be back after 2 days off on the weekend. And we'll be here live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. all week this week. Big interviews and guests lined up for this week of shows. On tomorrow, we have Jason Romano, who's a former producer for ESPN. He was a producer for the Mike and Mike show on ESPN. He'll be live with us tomorrow morning. We also have current MLB star Andrew McCutchen coming on this week, as well as for Fox News. He's a college football play-by-play broadcaster, Mr. Tim Brando. And on Thursday morning, we will also be talking with live Billy Bean, who's a vice president and assistant to the commissioner of the MLB, Mr. Rob Manfred. So again, big guest lineup for this week of shows, but we'll dive right into the show right now. So joining me live in the studio, Nick Carlson. Nick, big Patriots victory yesterday. It was probably the worst Patriots game we've seen this season, but the Patriots are still undefeated. They hold the record 4-0 after the Sunday victory over the New York Bills, 16-10. Tom Brady didn't look so great yesterday, Nick.
Brady going 39 for 18, only throwing 150 yards, no touchdowns, but 1 interception. That is, I think, the worst I've seen out of Tom Brady in the past few years, ever since I've gotten deeper into the football statistics instead of just looking at the score. But Tom Brady and the New England offense definitely did not show up to play. It's the defense that bailed them out. Out of Sony Michel, Philip Dorsett, Brennan Bolden, James White, they only averaged a total of 74 yards altogether. Frank Gore himself beat all of them combined with 109 rushing yards. The New England offense was just not there last night. They were not there. They were not ready to play.
Yeah, I mean, Tom Brady, 18 for 39, 150 yards. He had an interception as well. He notched his 31st victory, though, against the Bills and 34 starts against Buffalo since 2001. And again, no other quarterback has beaten a single opponent as many times during the Super Bowl era. Only 3 Bills quarterbacks have half as many victories as Brady total over the same period. Drew Bledsoe, 23, Tyrod Taylor, 22, and Ryan Fitzpatrick, 20. So again, Tom Brady just continues putting his name in the record books in many different aspects. But again, he struggled yesterday. Do you think Patriot fans should be worried about Tom Brady, or is it just one bad game?
I mean, I would say it's just definitely one bad game. Was definitely the biggest challenge for New England as of yet. They're playing a team that's also 3-0. Earlier in the season, they've just been playing teams that are just going to get smacked around the league for this year and the next few years to come. But I think this is definitely a wake-up call for Bill Belichick and the rest of the New England Patriots to say, hey, you're not the only big dogs left on the field. You still got Kansas City, who's 4-0. They squeaked out a win yesterday, just like New England. So same thing for them. That was another wake-up call.
It's definitely going to... Yeah, Patriot fans, of course, they just have to think, oh, we got Tom Brady. That's kind of their saying around here, and especially in the area, with Gillette being about 15 minutes down the road from where we are here at Dean. And if you are an NFL fan, I say there's two NFL fans. You're either a Patriots fan or you despise the Patriots and how they run. And every single year there's a conversation, whether it's during the season, after the season, whatever it may be. Tom Brady is not going to be able to perform at the way he does this particular season. We've heard it probably the last 5 years, or even more, about this is Tom Brady's last year. He's not going to be able to perform at this height anymore and at this perfect rate. And again, I would say if this was the first game of the season, it would be more of a conversation. But with it not be, I think overall, Patriot fans shouldn't be too worried about Tom Brady. I think it's crucial to see what Tom Brady does at his next game and see if he continues to fall down this hole into. Look, let's face it. When the Patriots face another good team, Tom Brady is not going to be able to perform like he did yesterday. Because, yes, the Patriots defense is one of the best defenses the Patriots have had in the last few years, but the defense had to be perfect yesterday in order to get that win in Buffalo.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you 100% right there. Tom Brady is getting up there in age, and I know it's an acute little injury, but those injuries aren't around as long as Brady.
And, a lot of people vented their frustration when Antonio Brown was released from the Patriots. And some Patriots were frustrated because Antonio Brown brought something different to practice that never was really talked about before. And, Antonio Brown is one of the best football players. And at what he did, and you kind of see the same thing with Tom Brady. Tom Brady and Antonio Brown are two very different people on and off the field, obviously. But again, Tom Brady is almost a coach. He basically is that assistant head coach along with Bill Belichick. And he's able to, my favorite thing is watching the NFL is the mic'd up. When NFL Network does those episodes after a Super Bowl victory or, a big game, and you can hear the mic'd up, Bill Belichick mic'd up or Tom Brady mic'd up, and you can hear the hot mics and what they're talking about. And it's just so, fun to listen to, hear what Tom Brady has to say when he's not on the field and the defense is out there. He's one of the loudest voices on the sideline along with Coach Belichick. So, again, like what you were just saying, how yes, Tom Brady didn't have a great game yesterday, but his ability to coach mid-game, whether it's the defense or the offense out on the field with him, he plays such a huge part in that victory yesterday, no matter what, and how he did on the field.
Oh, so the Patriots definitely have flexibility and room to move everybody around, but I think it's Brady's ability to read a defense that truly gives the.
Yeah, and Nick, going forward, do you feel like the Patriots could possibly see an 18-0 season this year?
In my personal opinion, I say no. I do not see the Patriots going a perfect season. However, I do see the Patriots going 14-2 or 13-3.
Okay. Well, Nick, I want to say thank you for joining us for this segment, debriefing that Patriots victory yesterday. Again, Patriots are now 4-0 on the season. And now we're going to bring in Alex Murray into the studio with our train traffic and weather update. Alex, how's it looking out there?
Okay, so right now in Franklin, Mass, it is 50 degrees and sunny. It'll reach a high of 64 and will drop as low as 49. The rest of the day is expected to be sunny and clear. And a look for your traffic report. Route 90 is congested but moving. Route I-95 is also congested from Attleboro through Mansfield. Route 93 is slowly crawling from Dorchester all the way to Route 3 connector. And for the train update, there seems to be no delays on the train, but Monday through Wednesday from September 16th to October 3rd, at 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., there will be a shuttle replacing the Franklin line service between Forge Park due to Franklin's train maintenance. And that's all for your train, traffic, and weather update. Now sending it back to Alex Feuz.
Thank you, Alex. And once again, we're going to take a quick break here this morning on Power 88. But coming up next, we have 3 headlines, and Giggs will be joining us live in the studio. Is it real news or fake news? Here next on Power 88, broadcasting live from Dean College. Don't move. El Muscle will be back here live very soon.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shelley Flace with today's...
Welcome back here live on Power 88 Radio. Alex Feuz bringing you up until the 8 o'clock hour. Joining me now in the studios is Giggs, and we will be debuting a new segment on the show. This is a segment that I can't wait for. It's a fun one. So I got 3 headlines that I'm going to be quizzing Giggs on to see whether it's real news or fake news. He has not seen these headlines, right, Giggs? You have not?
I have not seen them.
So I'll be reading the headline and then a little of the article, and to see if Giggs can rather detect if this is real news or fake news. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. So the headline is, aging Tom Cruise no longer able to climb over outer wall of skyscraper during a movie filming without taking a break halfway through. And it came out of San Diego as Tom Cruise rested on a window ledge 300 feet in the air, took a sip of water Friday. Onlookers remarked that the 57-year-old actor was really showing his age by taking a break during a shooting of a new movie. And it was touched to watch how winded he gets nowadays, especially when he's climbing up the building. So is this real news or fake news?
I'm going to go with real news.
Really?
Yep.
Well, you're wrong.
Oh,
It's fake.
that's no good.
The article goes on to say that Tom probably needs more to be realistic about expectations he's placing on his body and middle age. He'll be running from a moving train and then will climb 15 stories on a skyscraper. Well, it's fake, Giggs.
I know, but still, that's crazy.
It came from The Onion.
Oh.
Are you familiar with The Onion?
No.
No, it's a news site that makes up stories.
Wow. Well, I gotta remember that now.
Yeah, so when, again, so maybe Tom Cruise can climb, that tall without getting so winded. Anyways, next headline of the day, mystery woman sings opera in Los Angeles Metro, and she actually goes viral with this. An unidentified woman, her hair pulled back up in pigtails and arms loaded with bags, as she just went grocery shopping, sings a beautiful rendition of a opera song, and actually on Twitter went viral for millions of people to see, and including 4 million people, over 4 million views on Twitter and Facebook. And they said that they heard her singing at the Civic Center earlier on Sunday, and it's even better in person. Real news or fake news?
I feel like it's tough, but I'm going to go with real news again.
It is real news.
Yeah, we go.
This one's real. And you can go onto Twitter and you look up her name. Again, she's in the subway singing an opera rendition of a song. I don't want to say the song name because I would butcher it. But again, this is a fun story, and it shows how important social media is and how you can, with one video just like that, it can go viral.
Yep.
It blow up. But all right, so the last headline for this segment for the real news or fake news. New York Times offers to disclose a whistleblower identity. If you aren't familiar with the Trump and Ukraine and Joe Biden scandal that happened last week. So the New York Times offers to disclose the whistleblower identity to readers who subscribe in the next 24 hours.
Fake news.
It is fake.
Yeah, there we go.
Good job.
2 for 1.
Ding, ding, ding. So promising customers, it said, the article said, this is also from The Onion, promising customers unlimited access and the most up-to-date information on anonymous sources. The New York Times announced Friday an offer to disclose a whistleblower's identity to readers who subscribe within the next 24 hours. They said, quote, "We'll give you the whistleblower's name, home address, occupation, and voting record." The promotion read in part, adding, for every 5 referrals of people who also subscribe, readers would receive several high-resolution photographs of the whistleblower. So obviously this is fake news.
Oh, yeah.
But again, you got this one right, but I'm sure there's some people out there that probably thought that was going to be real.
Yep.
And the New York Times...
It's kind of like an ad, like this picture to, see this or something like that.
Yeah. But... so two for one. That's not not bad.
Not bad for the first time.
For the first time, and it's a fun segment because every single day we're scrolling through our phones and on social media and everything, and we see so many different news stories, and you don't really know for a fact whether or not it's real or not.
It's real,
and that's the scary thing about today. But again, it's a fun time, especially this day and age where you can have some fun with some fake news. Why not? But
just make stuff up and then people believe it.
What we should do is I should just try to make up my own headlines and try to trick you guys.
Yeah.
Because pretty soon you're going to get on me and look at The Onion every morning to see.
Yeah, exactly.
You're going to cheat.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, what do you think of this segment?
It's fun. I really liked it, yeah.
All right. We're trying new stuff out. If you have any new segment ideas, let us know. You can find us on Twitter at The Alex Feuz Show, and then also on Facebook as well on WJO Power 88. But once again, thanks again, Gigs, for joining me in the studio. And it's funny. I have a funny story with you. You're kind of dealing with a little cold today too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. And so when I woke up this morning, I got up around 4:30 this morning. And when I left, I went to Dunkin', of course, to get my coffee. But then I also stopped at 7-Eleven to get some cold medicine. And the cold medicine I got, it was in pill form. And the container of the box that I got was purple. And for those of you who don't know this, but typically if the box is in blue or purple, it means that it's drowsy.
Oh, really?
It means that it's...
I did not know that.
Like a NyQuil. Type cold medicine. And I asked the person that was working at the 7-Eleven desk, I go, is this non-drowsy or drowsy? I was looking up all these different names that's on the box on Google to find out whether or not it's non-drowsy or drowsy, because I have a busy day today.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't be taking drowsy cold medicine at 5 a.m. to get rid of this. And he goes, I don't know.
Oh my God.
So I guess there's only one way to find out. So I took the medicine about an hour ago, and I feel fine. I feel a lot better.
So it's obviously not drowsy then.
Yeah. So hopefully maybe it takes a while to kick in, and I'll be falling asleep in my 8 a.m. class, and then I'll be out of luck. But I kind of had to test the odds today whether or not I was gonna be asleep all day or awake.
Yeah. I mean, I've taken cough medicine and cough syrup, but still feel it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel a lot better from what I did the last couple of days, but I think this is kind of like in the last stage. Everyone around here is sick.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's that time of year where weather's changing. It's the last day of September, first day of October tomorrow. It's now getting a little cooler, even though tomorrow's going to be 84.
Yeah,
Isn't that crazy?
It's insane.
But after that, it's going to drop down into the 50s. Didn't mean to spoil anything for the weather updates.
Yeah.
But anyways, again, so I'm still awake. I'm still kicking. So I'm not falling asleep yet.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
If I go silent by the end of the show, you know what happened. But anyways, Gigs, thanks again for joining me for the news segment. Real news or fake news here live on Power 88 Radio. We're going to send it to a quick break. Coming up next, top 5 news headlines of the day. And those top 5 news headlines are completely real. Once again, coming up next, we got some interesting ones out there. What's going on in the Antonio Brown saga? We'll find out next here on Power 88 Radio.
Okay, forest animals, today is a new day. Kids are coming to the forest, and it's up to us to make their visit a good one. Sparrow.
Yes?
Have you practiced the most popular bird songs for the year?
Of course.
Catchy. I like it. Okay, River.
Dude,
How's the temperature?
It's a refreshing 52 degrees, man. Perfect for a little riverside shoeless relaxation.
Ah, good. Owl, you here? Course. Who's asking? I am. Look, you know the drill. Sleep during the day, scare the kids at night. Perfect. I love my job. Oak Tree?
What's up?
Still in the same place I left you last year. That's what I like. Consistency.
Well, it's not like I'm going anywhere for the next couple 100 years.
I know. I love it. Turtle. Turtle.
He's not here yet, man.
He's late every morning. You'd think you would have learned by now to leave the night before our meetings. Okay. Squirrel. Has anybody seen Mr. Squirrel?
The forest has been preparing just for you. Visit a forest near you today to learn.
Welcome back here to Power 88 Radio. Alex Feuz bringing up until the 8 o'clock hour here on Power 88 Radio, broadcasting live from Dean College. Now, this is my favorite segment on the show, the top 5 news headlines of the day. Joining me for this segment for the first time for this particular segment is Alex Marie, one of the on-air and producers of the show. And this is a fun segment. I know this is the first time you've done this segment with us on the show. And are you ready for this one?
As ready as I can be.
All right. Well, I mean, this is one of my favorite segments. We're going to start things off with the Antonio Brown story. Antonio Brown expected to set off a legal battle for $61 million in the NFL record filings report. So the Antonio Brown saga continues. He's back at college. He actually tweeted for help for writing an English paper. Did you see that?
No, I didn't, but that's kind of funny.
Yeah, he tweeted that he needs someone to read over his paper because he's already, after about a week in to college back at Michigan, he needs help for English 303. So he's already taken 300 level classes 1 week into college.
Dang, that's really good for someone who hasn't been at school for a while.
So again, Antonio Brown, the saga continues. New England Patriots, former New England Patriots wide receiver Antonio Brown, and batted former receiver, again now set to embark a legal battle to recoup more than $61 million he believes he's owed from the Oakland Raiders and the New England Patriots. He will reportedly file a list of grievances and appeals in an attempt to receive compensation from the last two teams after being released filed allegations of sexual misconduct and internal conflicts. Brown is also set to appeal with the NFL in the event that he's suspended from the league. So again, this whole Antonio Brown story continues, and it seems almost never ending.
Yeah, he just really seems he wants to get paid. You know, he's suspended from the NFL. He's going back to school. I mean, he has to pay for that somehow. He feels he deserves. He never disclosed that to the Patriots.
Yeah, and again, this whole story, I feel like if he just stayed off Twitter, you know, where just let, you know, due process kind of fall into effect, where you don't say these crazy things on Twitter to make it again, this is a huge issue as in a whole, but you don't need to start other minor, you know, inside conflicts that he did. And, you know, again, we're going to wait and see what happens with this whole investigation to see what happened with Antonio Brown and these allegations. But again, he went against, you know, he attacked the accuser through messages on social media, and that got put out there, and just so many stuff happened, you know, in such a short period of time, where the Patriots got, you know, rid of Antonio Brown because it was like toxic. You know, they had to get rid of him. I think anyone would have got rid of Antonio Brown, and the Patriots made the right decision.
I think the Patriots should have foreseen him being toxic because, I mean, he was already let go by the Steelers, and then very soon after let go by the Raiders, and picking him up after just like less than a week of being let go by the Raiders. The Patriots should have known ahead the reasons why he was let go. It wasn't just his playing, obviously. He's a very good player. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's like one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. There's a lot of baggage, and we all know Belichick doesn't deal with that, and he should have known that right from the beginning instead of going through all this, giving him this $9 million sign-up bonus, all this money, and guaranteeing him this money and not giving it to him due to going against NFL rules. But I think Belichick should have already seen this coming and should have never signed him in the first place. But that's just my own opinion.
We'll end that one because I think you said it perfectly, and no one could else say it better. Headline number 4, Oregon police round up a big tortoise wandering and traffic. Police responding to reports of a traffic hazard in an Oregon neighborhood identified the cause, an enormous tortoise that escaped from its owner's home.
I don't know why someone's owning a ginormous tortoise, but that's their own personal preference, I guess.
Maybe it was like a companion animal. They felt like they needed a turtle to feel safe and happy. And
that's happened to me before. I've seen that giant, either a turtle or tortoise.
Are you from Oregon?
I mean, yeah, I could have flown all the way from over here. No, I'm just from northern Mass.
The Eugene Police Department said the tortoise was walking in and out of traffic, similar to like what you were just saying, in the Elizabeth Drive area before being captured by animal welfare officer Ted Carlson. Ted Carlson says, with the help of some neighbors, they all lifted the large guy into Ted's vehicle, and the tortoise got a ride to the Green Hill Humane Society. The department said the tortoise was later reunited with its owner. They gave the turtle back to its owner. Very interesting. When the news was developing, it wasn't slow moving.
That's a good joke.
I try.
I mean, if I was the owner, I would want it back too. So, I mean, it was really nice of them to give it back, even though it escaped.
And that's funny, though. It's almost like, remember back a couple of years ago when everyone was bringing these animals on the airplanes? Remember this?
Oh, yeah.
And someone even brought, these crazy animals that...
Like snakes and all this weird stuff. Like, no.
Snakes. Are you kidding me? How does a snake make you feel safe?
I mean, it's up to them. I mean, I'm good with a dog.
Yeah, I agree. I like dogs. I'm not a huge cat person. I don't really care for cats.
Depends on the cat.
Yeah, what bugs me about cats, and this is, I'm gonna go on a little rant. Maybe this is my rant of the day. But what bugs me about cats, right? You have a litter box, and I'm gonna offend all the people that love cats out there listening to the show right now. But you have a litter box, right? And the cat goes to the bathroom in the litter box, and then it jumps on your tables where you eat dinner and your countertops where you make food.
I mean, you don't have to have them jump on your countertop.
No, but they do anyways. They're cats.
Yeah, that's true.
So they go to the bathroom in the litter box, and they're, walking all around, and what is in there after they just went to the bathroom, and then they hop on where you're going to eat dinner.
I mean, yeah, but some people love their animals, and they're, I guess, okay with that.
Yeah. I guess maybe they have a big part of the company in Lysol or Clorox.
Yeah. Or have a really good immune system.
Or that. Well, especially if you have a cat for many years at that point. Anyways, that's my rant of the day. I'm getting death stares from the studio. I guess we got some cat lovers in there. I don't care. But anyways, headline number 3. I'm going to get fired today. Watch. Headline number 3. MLB finishes with 6,776 home runs, 11% above the previous record. So Major League batters finished with that amount of home runs, shattering the previous record of 6,105 that was set 2 years ago. Dominic Smith hit the final home run of the season, a 3-run drive in the 11th inning on Sunday off the Atlanta Braves' Grant Dayton that lifted the New York Mets over the Braves 7-6. So this year's total was 11% above the old record and 21% higher than last year's 5,585 home runs.
Damn, that is a crazy amount. I would have never... I mean, I know they hit a lot of home runs. They're professionals. They should be able to do that high. That is just crazy to me.
Do you feel like this amount of home runs... And by the way, the average baseball game of the year... let me guess. I'll have you guess. Throw... hours and minutes out there. How long do you think the average 9-inning baseball game was this year?
The longest?
The average.
Oh, the average. I don't know. Probably like 4 hours?
4 hours?
Yeah, I don't know. I know a football game lasts between 3 to 4. A 9-inning baseball game, I don't know, probably 4 to 5 hours.
4 to 5 hours. Oh, we're going up an hour.
I mean,
okay.
I play softball. We only go 7.
Oh, that's true. So the average 9-inning baseball game of the 2019 season, 3 hours and 5 minutes.
Okay, so definitely not as long as I thought it was.
Not as long, but it's increased from previous seasons.
They're definitely trying to ink a little longer, make them buy more snacks, make them a little more hungry. I mean, I know baseball, it's a great sport, but it's entertainment. They got to make money somehow, so why don't
That's
you just
interesting.
Make those
I've never thought about it
longer?
like that.
Yeah.
That you think the MLB is trying to make the games longer so you spend more money at the stadium?
Yeah, I mean, they already take so long in between pitches, so why not?
Well, that's true. I know I never heard that side of the argument before.
Yeah.
I have to wonder because, again, there's all these conspiracy theories about whether or not the ball, that they're doing different things with the ball to make the ball fly more. That whole conspiracy theory that they're doing. But that's interesting that you say that.
Yeah, no, you have to think everything from a business perspective. Like this is a business, even though this is like a lot of people's like hobbies, lifestyles. Like this is also a business, and you have to think of it from that perspective sometimes too.
Also, the New York Mets' Pete Alonso became the first rookie since the modern era that began in 1900 to lead the major leagues in home runs, hitting 53. So he broke the rookie amount of home runs. The rookie that held it prior was Aaron Judge from a few years back. So 53 home runs for a rookie.
That is amazing. To go into such a different environment and to be facing such good talent and to be hitting like that is crazy for a rookie. Usually they need like a year or two to ease into the league and figure out the ropes.
swing of things.
Yeah,
see what I did there?
All these jokes, you're really on there.
I'm killing it. But here all week.
I mean, me too.
Headline number 4, the Patriots once again stay undefeated. They defeated the Bills on Sunday 16-10. Big story here in New England is the Patriots are still 4-0.
Yes.
Do you foresee seeing them get a loss anytime soon?
I mean, they are. I mean, look, they did win yesterday's game, but they didn't look as great as you guys talked about earlier. I mean, great. I mean, I love Tom Brady, but that game yesterday was not that good. The defense kind of saved them with the 4 interceptions. That was really good. I don't see them going undefeated, even though I would love them to go undefeated. Controversial topic. But if they're going to lose to anybody, I can't see it coming anytime soon looking at their schedule, but I don't think they're going to go undefeated.
All right. Well, Alex Murray here on September 30th, 2019 at 7:37.
So we're quoting me.
Yeah, we're going to write this down, and the Patriots will not go undefeated.
Yeah.
Yes?
My dad back home ain't going to like me for saying that.
Well, it doesn't, whether you like it or not, if you turn out to be right, then you'll, it's a good look.
It's a lot of props.
It's a hot take, but you definitely have a good shot to, you got, 14 games left?
Yes.
So, we'll see what happens, but that's an interesting take. I feel like that the take's in your favor at this point because, it's so hard for another team to go another 14-0 after going 4-0. So,
yeah,
definitely, I think you should be fine. Headline the last headline of the day. Again, we always like to end the top 5 news headlines whatever national day it is.
Ooh, what is it today?
It is National Chewing Gum Day.
Nice. I know a few people who are obsessed. They have to chew gum all the time, every day.
It actually is an exercise. People consider chewing gum an exercise for your jaw. So pop a bubble or freshen your breath with your favorite piece of chewing gum. Again, I never really call it chewing gum, but that's the official name of gum, is actually chewing gum. Who would have thought? Humans have been chewing gum for over 5,000 years. They may have chewed it for enjoyment to stave off hunger, which a lot of people do as well, or to freshen their breath, much like we do today. The sources used to make gum resulted in minty and sweet chewable globs of wax to be fulfilled to urge to gnaw on.
I like these words. I like these descriptive words.
It was unlikely they were capable of producing glossy pink bubbles worth of jealous pokes from siblings. What? However, waking up with it stuck in your hair was still a possibility.
That would be a nightmare for me. That can never happen.
That's scary.
Yeah.
That having gum in your hair when you wake up in the morning.
Never happen. It happens in softball a lot. A lot of girls like chewing gum on the field, and when you slide and the collisions, just if that gets in my hair,
So it says, share a piece of your gum to celebrate National Chewing Gum Day. That's one of the most annoying things. I mean, ever in class, you have a pack of gum and you take it out to give a piece of gum, and what's the first thing someone asks?
Oh, can I have a piece? And then it goes over to this random kid you don't know. You're like, oh, can I have a piece? I'm like, I haven't talked to you in like 3 years. Who are you?
And then you have the whole class turn around, and everyone in the class wants a piece of gum.
Yeah, no. You gotta like be all like secretive, like keep it under your leg, like tuck down under the desk to get that gum in your mouth without anyone noticing. And be like, oh, my last piece.
I agree, and it drives me crazy. But, recently I'm more into mints. Altoids. I like Altoids.
I go with the orange Tic Tacs.
Ooh, orange Tic Tacs. Those are kind of like the OGs of mints if you're not having gum.
I mean, yeah, they don't really do anything for freshening your breath, but they taste good.
They taste great. They taste amazing. But we're going to take a quick break here. Once again, Alex, thanks for joining us for the first time today doing the top 5 news headlines of the day. Coming up next, Austin Dakuda joining us live in studio to talk about the top 5 NFL moments from Sunday football. Joining us live in the studio next here on Power 88 Radio.
Were you born from 1945?
Welcome back here to Power 88 Radio, broadcasting live from Dean College. Alex Feuz now alongside Austin Dakuda, live in the studios, bringing you up to the 8 o'clock hour this morning. Austin has prepared top 5, almost similar to the last segment, news headlines of the day, but top 5 moments from NFL Sunday football. I have not seen these moments. Again, I go to bed at an early time now, so I miss a Sunday night football game. I go to bed at 8:30 now, and a lot of my friends make fun of me because I go to bed at 8:30. I wake up around 4:30 because of this new show, so I miss out on some great matchups. And what's going to be tough for me is playoff baseball, watching those games, because if I go to bed at 8:30, I mean, I must have, I guess it's the highlights reel in the morning that I'll have to watch now.
Well, yeah, I can say that you did not miss anything in terms of Sunday Night Football last night. Was not a very exciting game at all.
It was the Cowboys, right?
Cowboys, Saints. It was a defensive battle, but that did not even make one of the headlines. So I'll give you the first headline from yesterday, which is Frank Gore joins Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton, and Barry Sanders as the only running backs to rush for 15,000 yards.
Wow.
Now, Gore did that against the Patriots yesterday on a 41-yard scamper and finished the day with 109 yards. Gore is 36 years old, been in the league for a long time. He's ran for 1,000 yards 9 separate seasons, and he's had 79 career touchdowns with 5 Pro Bowlers. And now Gore is a surefire Hall of Famer, one of the best running backs of our generation. Growing up watching him, it seems like every year he's churning out an 1,000-yard season. And now at age 36 to come in and pick up 110 yards. Awesome. And that moment we saw on the sideline, he was being congratulated by his teammates and the fans cheering for him. 15,000 yards and only one of 4 running backs to do that all time.
And it seems like he's one of the most underrated running backs in this day and age in football. Sure, if you go back a few years ago, he was one of the most talked about running backs of our time, but not a lot of people talk about him too much anymore.
Right, he's past his prime, but even during his prime, he's very underappreciated, overshadowed often by the 49ers defense when he was in his prime, and even the last couple of years where he's bounced that recognition. Only 5 Pro Bowl appearances, but if you look at some of his seasons, he's just consistent. 1,000 yards, over 5 touchdowns a season, just, can hurt opposing teams' defenses and just bruise them all game long. And, that 15,000 yards is really special for a guy like Frank Gore. So we'll move into our second headline from NFL Sunday, which is the Buccaneers defeat the Rams 55-40 on a game-winning fumble by interception by Jared Goff. Now, the Rams are, defending NFC champions. They made it to the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Now, this is such a big headline because it's the Rams' first loss of the season. They fall to 3-1. Jared Goff with 4 turnovers, and to lose to the Buccaneers at home is very concerning if you're a Rams fan, and very encouraging if you're a fan of the rest of the teams in the NFC, because the Rams were probably the number 1 pick to head back to the Super Bowl. I mean, based on the Saints' injury to Drew Brees, but to have the Rams lose to the Buccaneers at home is some big news.
This was a fun storyline for me yesterday because I was texting my dad yesterday because we are in a suicide league, and are you familiar with one of those?
Yeah, as a fantasy league? Or?
Yeah, something like that where you pick one team every single week.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And if your team wins, you move on, and if the team that you pick loses, you're done for the season. So I'm still in. Yesterday I picked the Chargers. They played the Dolphins yesterday, so I picked the Chargers, and I got a little worried for a second there. It was 10-10 in the second quarter. The Dolphins had the lead first, and then the final score was 30-10. But again, so I moved on. But 21 people in the league. I think there's like around 40 or 50 people in this league. There were my dad, a bunch of people from my family as well. But 21 people had the Rams winning yesterday. So a lot of people got eliminated from the league yesterday after that big upset of the game. So I was happy.
Yeah, that was an interesting game. I mean, the Buccaneers were up 28-3 at one point, and they were just pounding the Rams. But the Rams came back and made it a game, and it was 48-40. And then Jared Goff had the crucial turnover. So that's what makes that one of the in more interesting headlines is that the Rams, defending NFC champions, are now suffering a home loss to the Buccaneers. Now we'll move into our third headline from the NFL Sunday, which is Larry Fitzgerald moves into second place on the NFL's all-time reception list. Now this is a big one coming out of Glendale, Arizona. He only trails Jerry Rice. Now Fitzgerald's 36, another future Hall of Famer, much like Frank Gore, who we talked about earlier. Fitzgerald, even after the game, downplayed the accomplishment and the records. He said, "I don't mean any disrespect to guys on the all-time list, but it's hard to take anything good from losing 2 in a row at home." So even in moments of great accomplishment, Larry Fitzgerald remains humble and is just focused on winning, not personal accomplishments.
Again, in this day and age where some guys are arrogant and, are selfish, but he's not one of them. And he's one of the best at what he does in this game of football. And it's kind of cool to witness players in this day be like, yes, he's going to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I mean, everyone around the league loves Larry. One of the most amazing things. And now we're going to move into our fourth news headline from the NFL Sunday, and this one comes from Chicago as Bears quarterback Mitchell Trubisky suffered a left shoulder injury early in the first quarter and missed the majority of the Vikings-Bears game, although the Chicago Bears did go on to defeat the Vikings 16-6. Now, this is huge because Trubisky, obviously the Bears' starting quarterback. He was a top 5 pick, and people are looking for this year to be the year that decides kind of if Trubisky is that guy or not. Now, Chase Daniel, the backup, has been around the league. He's made some starts, but he's not a franchise QB. So if Mitchell Trubisky has a long-term injury, this could really hurt the Bears' chances of winning that division and making the playoffs.
In this game of football, so many people of recent times, I mean, we saw Josh Allen yesterday, the quarterback for the Bills, go down with an injury. It seems like almost every single week, these prominent names in the game of football are going down with either an injury to put them out for a couple weeks or for the whole season. And we saw it happen last year as well. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo went down for them. And again, it's kind of tough if you are a executive in the NFL with these top names in the league and these most well-known, marketable names are going down with injuries that are hurting the game.
Yeah, it's part of the game, but at the same time, that's why you see the league trying to, protect the quarterback, because the quarterback is what makes led by good quarterback play. And without a quarterback, your team's not going to be as good. You can see years where, especially when Drew Brees is injured, they beat the Cowboys last night, the Saints, but it's a 13-10 game. If Drew Brees is in that game, it could have been a 28-10 game. More touchdowns equal more ratings oftentimes for the NFL because the casual fan wants to see scoring plays. So, the injuries that we're seeing is, sometimes like Josh Allen's case, he plays recklessly, at quarterback, likes to scramble with the ball and doesn't protect himself, and that's kind of why he got hit hard by Jonathan Jones. But, I mean, you have a lot of injuries that are just, like, luck-based. Like, you look at Drew Brees and his hand just hitting it on a player's helmet, and he's out 6 weeks. And you have Roethlisberger, who seems to be in the game even through injury, and finally something gave out, and now Ben Roethlisberger's out the year. Now you have Mitchell Trubisky going down, Josh Allen's out, and Nick Foles broke his collarbone. So you have 5 starting quarterbacks, and including, the Nick Foles devastating injury that are out for the season now. Potentially out for a few weeks is Trubisky, but Drew Brees is, to be determined if he's coming back. But, the injuries to quarterbacks really have a direct correlation with the ratings. And we'll move into our final news headline from NFL. One of the most hardworking guys in the Patriots locker room. Awesome to see him finally score a touchdown in an NFL game.
I think a lot of fans didn't. I think fans realize that he never has scored a touchdown in his career, but I don't think at the same time a lot of people outside of this New England zone realized that he didn't score a touchdown. So it's kind of a nice story, and Bill Belichick said it best, where he, congratulated him on, he's very close with Slater. So again, a great story coming out of the New England area yesterday with him scoring his first career touchdown.
Yeah, it was an awesome play. Great to see Slater, finally get some recognition for his awesome work. You don't see people talk about, the tackles he makes or the awesome special teams plays a lot of times, but that touchdown made people kind of, show appreciation for Slater on a public note.
No doubt, but Austin, thanks again for joining us live in the studio. We're going to take a 1-minute break, and then to wrap up this edition of the show this morning, we'll go into what happened on this day in history and the word of the day with Giggs live in the studio. Here next on Power 88. Well, here we are back now live on Power 88 Radio, along with Giggs live in the studio. Giggs, the national... this is a fun new segment again. Yep. So you're joining us for a segment. You like these segments so far?
I love these segments. I think this is a great show. The segments are great. I think everyone loves them, and let's get to it.
So we have the national word of the day is emporium. Do you know what an emporium is?
I've heard of it before in high school. It's kind of like a store. I haven't heard people use it a lot, so.
It's an interesting story where the national word of the day is emporium. I think of a candy store.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like a almost like a thrift shop kind of type of thing.
Yep. So that's the word of the day, emporium. And on this day in history, if I'm correct, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on the sheet, but it is actually on this day in history, Flintstones was created. It should be on like the second one on there. Correct me if I'm wrong or not. Flintstones, is that on there?
1960 premiere of the Flintstones. Yep.
So on this day in history, the Flintstones were created. Pretty crazy, right? 1960s, you said?
Yeah, 1960, and then it ran for 6 years until April 1st, 1966.
Well, that's a long time, especially.
I actually thought it was longer. I thought it ran until like the 90s or something.
Huh.
But it was only for 6 years, and I used to watch Flintstones a lot, and I loved the show. I wish they could still do something like that.
I know, but it was a great show, wasn't it?
It was great. Great show.
So the national word of the day is emporium. So be sure to throw that word in your vocabulary today. And then also the Flintstones were created back in 1960. So a nice little segment to wrap up the show. Yep. Once again, Giggs, thanks for joining us live in the studio this morning. To finish out the show, once again, I'm Alex Feuz. Coming up tomorrow morning, we will be talking with live Jason Romano, who's a producer or former producer for ESPN. He was a producer on Mike and Mike in the morning. And then also now an author and who wrote a book, Live to Forgive, which is a great story. We'll be talking about that with him tomorrow morning, and also his podcast as well. So once again, Giggs, signing off for Giggs, I'm Alex Feuz. Thanks for listening, and have a great rest of your day.